in Ablekuma North will be closed. We are bringing you front and center as far as the action is concerned. This is still your election command center. Mr. Naziru, you wanted to weigh in on something.
My point is, I find it very strange that it is coming from a lawyer that he doesn't believe the electoral commissioner, if the commissioners should be changed. I want to believe that the electoral commission is a creation of law. Yes. They continue to live and in that office by law. And the law, if you violate it, if there is, we find out that you are violating the very law that created your office, we have every reason, irrespective of whether or one government or previous government have done it before. When there's a clear violation of law, just as the issues we are raising, and one of them is incompetence, as the law clearly stipulates that you can take on an electoral commission on the basis of incompetence. And if we all agree that, including you, say that you can give them 2 or 3 out of 10, then clearly there has been some justification for incompetence in the role, the various roles they have played. And not only incompetence, I want to believe that, yes, I agree that it is even wrong for the NDC, my party, if any such opportunity comes, to start thinking of taking a politically active person in that role. I want to believe Afarijan and the rest were able to survive because they were seen generally as apolitical, and for that matter, people would believe and trust them. Now that we have people, I mean, if you are talking about Bosman, there is a gentleman who actively sat on radio and TV defending the MPP and the patron of the MPP's tertiary education.
Oh,
yes,
really?
as one of the commissioners. I mean, IT director, yes, he's a deputy electoral commissioner. I mean, he is there. Everybody saw him. He contested elections in the name of the MPP. And all this cumulates to the reasons why people would have enough reservation with this current electoral commission. And for that matter, if the need be that we should find a way and reason to restructure it, to win the trust of the people, we must do it, and we must do it now.
Council, let me bring you back into this. And I know, Mr. Quitton, I'll have you have your final bites. I know you don't have too much time left with us this afternoon, and you've been with us since morning. We're very grateful for your time as well. Council, you talk about this. You talk about the EC, and you say that they have shown an abysmal performance over the period. And this is being corroborated now also by the New Patriotic Party. Would you begrudge anybody the opinion now that the NPP is only echoing these calls because they feel disadvantaged? I want you to weigh in specifically on that. What do the optics then tell you? Initially, the NPP had no qualms, seemingly, with the actions of the EC. Fast forward to 2025, and now we have this corroboration.
Yeah, Ellen, it's obvious. The MPP, for me, doesn't appear to me as a very harnessed political party, particularly with its position on the Electoral Commission. Because as you well intimated, few months back, the MPP was singing a different song. Yeah. The MPP was behind the Electoral Commission. Yeah. And they said the Electoral Commission was fit for purpose. What changed? The political dynamics. It means that the Commission is now doing something that is not in favor of the New Patriotic Party. This is a political party, and as individuals and as institutions, they're entitled to change their positions, which we can accommodate. The New Patriotic Party can decide. That's what I'm saying, that they are entitled to change their position, but they don't appear to me as a very honest political party. Okay. No, because you see, I believe that if you want to be respected and trusted, you must be consistent. Consistency with regard to your position on a particular matter is important. However, if you believe that something may have changed, maybe there are new dynamics, new factors, and the basis of which you think you want to change your position, it is acceptable. But the MPP...
And these new factors, if these new factors, it appears these new factors affect you, that's when you change your position.
Clearly, but you see, Ellen, these two political parties. You see, let's not pretend that the way the MPP behaves and the way the NDC behaves, their behaviors are justified based on
set standards.
Yeah, exactly, on neutral grounds.
Right.
Based on their own political
interests.
Their interests.
Right.
No, but I mean, with the NDC, not just because I'm coming from the NDC, but I have, series of issues to point to that, yes, NDC goes beyond political consideration. One of them is from 1993 to 1996, we had only the NDC representation in power with few independent candidates. NDC could have taken a decision to even declare the country a one-party state. We didn't do that. We guarded the democracy, guarded the constitution up until today, and that constitution is still going on. And NDC, as we speak today, is the only political party that has presented a ministerial appointee to Parliament just for him to be called back because he didn't have a voter ID card, which wasn't right. And then it was a time that it is only NDC that was in Parliament. So we have shown commitment to nation building. We have shown patriotism all throughout our activities to be distinguished from the MPP. And today, that's, national or general saying that NDC, MPP are the same is not true. NDC is in power today and is justifying why it is different from the MPP.
So, thank you, Mr. Nazir. And also land for me on this point.
So I think, you see, Ellen, it's important to point out that, like I said, the MPP is entitled to change its position. And you see, and the fact that they had a different position, the fact that they had a different position a few months away, the fact that they have a new position a few months away, does not in any way justify that they should maintain the same position, particularly when there are new factors and dynamics, as I well intimated.
Right. Now,
the commission is taking a part. And when you look at the whole issue, particularly surrounding Ablekuma North, I can say that the MPP is justified to call for the heads of the Electoral Commission. And the MPP is justified to change its stance on the Electoral Commission. Why? Because I have held that the Electoral Commission was not supposed to rerun the election in the 19 polling stations. Only 3 polling stations. And I maintain that. And then this MPP too is saying the same thing. On that basis, I think MPP is justified to change its position on the Electoral Commission because they believe the Commission is taking a path that, in a way, will not inure to the benefits of Ghanaians.
Even before 3 days earlier, the Deputy Commissioner was in the People's Assembly in Parliament saying there was not going to be a rerun. So what changed? Just to support what you're saying.
Exactly. You get it. So, Ellen, I think let's not begrudge the MPP. And the fact that the MPP has changed its position on the Electoral Commission doesn't mean the MPP is not a respected political party or is not a party that we should take as maybe a serious political party. I think they're entitled to that. And looking at the factors so far that are playing out, their stance is justified because the Commission itself has not really been a serious one. Because you see, and I have said that one of the important, one of the attributes, great attributes of an independent institution is to be principled. Being a principled institution. When you take a position, look at the factors and stand by it. But not when you are just blown away by sometimes maybe well-wishers or political dynamics. And I think this is what I want to tell the Electoral Commission.
Right.
You cannot please the National Democratic Congress. It is clear. If you are rerunning the election in the 19 polling station to please the NDC, forget it. NDC is not pleased by what you are doing.
Is that what you are inferring from the actions of the EC? That they had, let's say, for example, they were listening to the national chairman of the NDC. They've been listening to other, actors in this space. And for that reason, they think that if they take the position of the NDC, their jobs will be safe. Honorable Fenyo Markin said that on the floor of Parliament. You agree with that sentiment?
Ellen, when you look at the whole issue, or when you look at what is playing out, the EC is playing safe. And the EC is playing safe because of who is now in charge of the country. Not who is in charge of opposition.
No, but
they don't care about who is in charge of the opposition.
There was an argument that was advanced that the Electoral Commission, after going through ECIs, governing elections,
127,
and the fact that they were relying on scanned pink sheets. And these scanned pink sheets were coming from a particular political party. That was the NPP. The NDC agreed to some, others they disputed. So they had to call the returning officers to come and validate the signatories.
And the presiding
officers.
Yeah.
Children of yesteryears couldn't resist it.
Is to rerun the elections. So this word, what the Electoral Commission should have done, hold a press conference, admit their shortcomings, but not the press release they did, and subsequently when pressure came, that was when they held the press conference. You understand?
Yeah, I get it, but...
And your point about the deficiencies within the system, I want to address your minds to something. Do you know we had a component, the electronic transmission of votes?
Yes, they are.
When the NDC raised objection, I remember computer Tanko. The EC said everything was
in the IPAC.
The IPAC. This is everything. They had backup and stuff like that. So the question, even as a country, we should be asking ourselves, at this age and time and technology,
Paperwork.
if we are still relying on paperwork, when we invested so much of the taxpayers' money in the electronic transmission of votes, then we are not serious. We are a joke.
But I guess also what I hear from council is that on the floor of Parliament, Bosman Asare was adamant. He said, we only have 3 polling centers to collate. We have everything that we need to go ahead. I mean, that had been echoed and re-echoed.
Do you remember when the majority leader got up to question Dr. Bosman? He raised certain fundamental legal issues. After listening, I told myself that no, the Electoral Commission is in a box now. And you realize Asare Bosman could not answer those questions. You understand? I'm sure they went back and did a review per what Honorable Mama Ayerga asked. And there were some valid legal, So to stop another sound repeating itself in Ablekuma, to me, I felt they ate the amber pie and decided that we'll do a rerun. And I have problem with the MPP because just for this time, you have not gotten it right with the EC. The EC is no longer fit for purpose. All of it.
What does that suggest to you, Mr. Kutin?
Otherwise, before the rerun thing, the position of the MPP had always been that they stand by what the Electoral Commission was doing.
And they should allow Electoral
Commission to do its work. Even when they went to the High Court for the recollation of the result, what was the position of the party?
It is okay to change your mind when presented with a set of new facts.
So that is why the EC changed its minds when they were presented with legal challenges they were likely to face.
Let me let council land on that point that he was making.
The thing is that I said, the Electoral Commission was saying that some of the pink sheets were not verified by the presiding officers.
Yes.
But you see, I have pointed out that in the 2013 election petition, one of the issues the MPP took to court was the unsigned pink sheet. And what was the decision of the court? Akufo-Addo versus Mahama. What was the decision of the court? The court said that there are two layers of signatures.
Authenticating the pink sheet.
Polling agent and presiding officers. When one is available and one is not available, it's okay. It doesn't strike at the core of the results. It doesn't affect the results. That is why I maintain that by rerunning the election in the 19 police station, the Electoral Commission is itself not being a serious institution because you have a law. You see, decisions of the court are laws. Decisions of the court are laws. When you look at Article 11 of our Constitution, it makes it clear. Others. So, the Commission was supposed to have rerun the election in 3 polling stations. Because you see, you were just close to 281. You were close to covering the 281 polling stations. Then you back it up. He said, okay, the NDC, because of political pressure, they received 2 letters from the National Democratic Congress. And that's what I'm saying, Helen. That's what I'm saying, that there seems to be clear
2 letters from the
Electoral Commission registering their protest.
Okay.
They disagree with the commission on particular
Right.
issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying that, you see, there are clear political undertones in this whole affairs. There's a new sheriff in town, and the sheriff is the National Democratic Congress, led by Sheriff John Dramani Mahama.
Indeed.
By reason of that, the commission is playing safe. And now I'm saying that the Electoral Commission, Jemesa and her deputy, should stop trying to please John Dramani Mahama. He will not be pleased by trying to play fair or align the...
You say...
No, it's not, I'm talking about Ablekuma North.
No, the rerun.
The rerun.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm saying that...
You disagree with
I'm
the
saying that
rerun.
rerunning 19 polling stations
Yes.
is a misnomer.
Okay.
It's a no.
Why,
It should have been-
why do you say so? You see, because you need to also
Oh, I
understand
built the
dynamic.
basis.
Yeah, but the basis you built
I built.
took out entirely the fact that if we all agree that the Electoral Commission is a creation of law and all their conduct is guided by law, that is why every election will have a CI to run the election. In the laws of the Electoral Commission, they don't have the opportunity to use foreign materials to base their results on foreign materials. And the Electoral Commission is saying all these 19
But why would you say
police
foreign?
stations-
Why would you
I'm
say,
coming.
why is there foreign material?
Because-
But it is not coming from-
No,
it is
copies of.
not-
I'm coming. Copies of pink sheets. Copies of pink sheets are as good as the pink sheet itself.
Yeah, but
You
you
mean
cannot
scanned copies?
Yes, scanned
authenticate.
copies of
cannot
pink
You
sheets.
cannot authenticate. You cannot
CI does
authenticate
not.
that because
no,
there is.
So
there
you
is a
see that when
fact-
the disagreement
Yes.
came, you see.
So
there is
that
a
the
fact-
presiding,
there is an
the
aspect of
presiding officer
authentication.
then would have to come in,
Exactly.
and we're told that for some of these
They identified.
were identified, and for others they
They said
simply
no.
couldn't get a presiding
even
officer to
those
corroborate these scanned pink sheets. And we know that sometimes this can be replicated. But gentlemen, just bear with me very quickly. It is some exactly now 2 hours until the polling centers will close in Ablekuma North. Some 19 polling centers where a rerun is being undertaken. We see all your messages very shortly. I'll be handing over to the next team. This one coming from Dr. Palgrave Boache Dankwa, and he is a former government spokesperson on governance and security, and I'll read out his message very quickly. He says, as a member of the New Patriotic Party and former government spokesperson on governance and security, I must address the alarming chaotic incidents unfolding in Ablekuma North during today's parliamentary rerun. He says the violence, including the assault on former MP Mavis Howard Kumsim, attacks on various candidates and a party agent, as well as a TV journalist by a police officer, threatens the democratic process and garners reputation for peaceful elections. And it goes on to say a lot more. I'll have to quickly skip over that because of time, but I thank you, Dr. Palgrave, for also lending your voice to this. You're calling for swift investigations into these incidents and enhanced police accountability, as well as stronger security measures to protect voters and candidates. And we iterate that call. It's very important indeed that we see out these processes in a manner that maintains the peace and sanity in our dear republic. We're wrapping up in studio very quickly. I think I can take some thoughts here. I know we were, still within the meat of the matter. Austin, let me let you finally land. I'll get a thought from Mr. Naziru, and then Mr. Kutin, you can weigh in for me as well.
Yeah, so Ellen, I'm just trying to, let James and the deputies know that just do your work. Operate by the laws that created the commission. But don't be pushed over by any political party. But what they are trying to do, like I said, NDC is just out and out to get you out, to get the commissioners out. You cannot please them by rerunning the election in the 19 police stations. When you know clearly that you were supposed to have run the election in only 3 police stations. So clearly, they should be careful with what they are doing. However, I have not in favor of any attempt to remove the commissioners.
All right, Council, I'm told that your sound is a little bit, we can't hear you too clearly, so I'll hold on with your thoughts. Let me come to Mr. Naziru. I know you were also intermittently weighing in on what Council had to say.
Yeah, you see, I mean, to create the impression that the NDC is out there to hunt the current electoral commissioners, I mean, it's not entirely true. I mean, the NDC has problem with some of the things they have done, and we have continued to raise those problems. It should be noted that it takes only the law and only law to get someone into office as an electoral commissioner or get him out or get him or her out as the electoral commissioner. And the NDC will continue to abide by that. If in our advocacy for the right thing to be done at the electoral commission, just so we can enhance and safeguard our democracy, someone needs to get out by violating the law. I mean, we will not hesitate to do that at all. Why should we hesitate? We want to protect the democracy that today has helped Ghana, I mean, play among the League of Nations of its peers and have made Ghana, you know, a proud country. For that matter, we must do everything to protect that democracy. So my position is that the notion, yes, we have had problem with the Electoral Commission, but to think that just by that problem, our intention is to hunt them out is not entirely true. We have abided, we have continued to partake in activities irrespective of all transfers that we, as a political party, the NDC, have received, even from electoral commissioners. Some of the utterances, very unfortunate. But we will have continued to play the game and ensure that democracy strives. And that is what we will continue to do. And if you are found, you know, guilty of breaking any law, that one we will not consider because someone has done it, because we want to protect democracy. If you are found guilty of breaking any law that puts you into the office, we will take action about it, and then the right thing should be done.
Thank you so much for that. Mr. Kutin, in just about 30 seconds, wrap up your thoughts for me.
I think from all intent and purpose, it's clear that if we want to safeguard our democracy, we have to build our institutions. We don't need strong men. And some of these things, it's not only the Electoral Commission, you know, we have the judiciary also on our hands and other sectors. And it must also be a reminder, especially political communicators, during elections, what you say. Many of your communicators say when they win, they remove J. Mensah. And rightly so, everybody agreed they are not performing, and certain things will be triggered. And unfortunately, because of such pronouncement, it will be misquoted. But by and large, I want to appeal to the MPP once again. Their boycott of Media General is doing a lot of disservice to them. This is a big platform, and I want to also commend Media General that even though they are boycott still coming here in person, you still afford their leaders the opportunity to speak through your medium. That is good by your journalistic standards. And I think that they are giving the NDC a very unfettered access to communicate what they are doing. And I think that they should have a rethink about it. It's not too late. I think this is about the second time. This is about the second time I'm appealing to them.
Let me say a very big thank you to the gentlemen in studio. And I've had with me on this panel today, I've had Emmanuel Kutin, Executive Director, African Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism. Mr. Kutin, always grateful for your perspectives on these matters, especially in the security space. I've also had with me Mohammed Naziru. He's the Deputy Executive Secretary of the National Identification Authority. I must add also the Communications Director of the NDC's Zongo Caucus. Mr. Naziru, thank you as well for joining us in this discussion. Also in the studio, Austin Kwabna Bracco Powers is a private legal practitioner. Counsel, thank you also for your time this morning and for lending your legal expertise to the discussions. We also had Musa Danko, Executive Director and Head of Global Research, Global Info Analytics with us earlier on, as well as Dr. Ishmael Norman, who is a security analyst. But at this point, we pass the baton over to the next team. My colleague Alfred Okanse standing by now. Alfred, 1 hour, 52 minutes and some now 50 seconds to go until the polling centers are closed and we get closer, hopefully, to finding out who represents the good people of Ablekuma North, and what a day it has been so far.
Absolutely, and it feels like election day, is it not? This is just 19 polling stations.
That's right.
I mean, when we began the day, we're thinking by now the polls should have closed, and then perhaps the Electoral Commission, by any arrangement with the political parties, even had a declaration already. So we just wrap up and go. But it appears that we're going the full haul, and all the political parties, MPP and NDC, doing what they have to do to ensure that they have a clear hold of the constituency. But unfortunately, with what we have seen so far, majority of your time has been spent on the violence and the chaos that has characterized this process. And this was expected, is it not? Because of the high stakes in this particular election. And even before today, there was chaos around the entire process of trying to recollate the results of this constituency. So for the many who have been looking into the crystal ball, projecting into how today was going to be, this violence and the chaos we've seen comes at no surprise. But the next few hours ahead of us is crucial.
Absolutely.
Because we have seen in elections past in this country that the period that records violence a lot is the coalition and the declaration period. And that's where we are going to right now here on your Election Command Center. And then Apian Pafo and the team, thank you. Thank you so much for holding it up until this point. We'll take over here on your Election Command Center. We're going to go straight to the grounds after this quick break. My colleague Joseph Akablay and also Kemini Amano is going to be joining me. And we will get straight into the next 5 hours ahead of us. It's a crucial period for the coverage of the Ablekuma North constituency, 19 polling stations rerun. We'll recall some of the incidents that have characterized this process since morning, the chaos and the disruptions, and how the state of affairs is as we speak now, and looking into how the next 1 hour, 50 minutes will be and beyond. My name is Alfred Okanse. Welcome. This is your Election Command Center. Stay with us. We're going to go for this quick break. When we're back, the coverage continues.
Reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle,
from the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital,
from the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom,
reporting from Sunyani,
from the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds, the moments that potentially alters the course of our nation, the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News. Leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
And my dear come in, Mapusa and Co. Nano Samina Jadibaye. Dear me pie. Ah, a dear friend, Miss Alcra, Sissimi. Samina Bia and a moto. A dear me. Maybe my one in our crab, Mapusa and one I crab it. Samina in Chevro.
And Yama was in our Casabi.
Eja unano samna ne de enye maposa bibi kakra bia ka maposa enko maposa se ntwa rompo
we de ma o kasa nya tinti me bampo me dru station ma won
wa mama no kura nti wa san foforo sen ba
we de ti de me kan me dru station ma twa gu samara bi so me se friend A1 to de me je bi si we de we ankrofo gu so station ne de we de be pu ahuro pa
o de o kwa de bi ba we o de be o san de be ha ma
o de try ne yan hwe
wait
A few moments later.
Hey, I know the judge by dear. Ayo, Ajawai.
Me wa na me hwe program bi kwa oti.
Any Janet my boy baso na say friend saying.
That say me do just go gu so an say nyasem ke.
Eh, any about time right. Where dey puka.
Oni asama na. Say me hu yanka me to bebirom.
E da dey nya pra to dodo na dey ye we na to bi enu pe. Ene ka ho no ma nkwa nya utumni ka. Ka ho na ya wadwo mo namba ama me. Na me ti bi akodwa.
Ka onsu betimi afra A1 ewa ahomaboafo yi so 054 507 4743 054 507 4743 na wonso so Joe Bath soap alata seminar after wash Parazone na se wo hwehwe A1 na kira kwan a obo asechechere ehonnom A1 asoye na ewo se wutu ana se wo pese wo to ne mako A1 Company Limited abatan yatsi asemde
A1 seminar